Now, I don't normally do response videos, but this video just rubbed me the wrong way. Recently, a video by PewDiePie was in my recommended, why I don't like Marvel movies. And that in itself is not a problem. It's okay to not like the movies. It's not for everyone. But some of the stuff PewDiePie says in this video is just wrong and downright insulting. And I really want to talk about this. His first major point is that the movies are oversaturated.
First argument was oversaturation. I don't know how anyone can really defend this point, but I'll go through it anyway.
And yes, they are. Of course. The movies do so well, it wouldn't make sense to just stop making them. And I even got a comparison to yourself. Your Laugh You Lose series. That is oversaturated. If something not only does so well, but is liked by your audience, you're bound to do it again. But overall, with this point, I do agree. They are oversaturated. But this is such a non-criticism. No one is forcing you to watch all the movies. Me, myself, I don't think there's too many Marvel movies. It hasn't got to the point for me that I can't watch them anymore. But I can understand getting sick of them. But what he says next is just wrong. He says all the movies are the same.
That they're all the same movie, packaged differently. They all follow the same story and concept at the end of the day.
I'm sorry, but you're an idiot. Clearly you have not seen all the Marvel movies. Some of the movies are similar, but not all of them. Just look at Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor Ragnarok, Homecoming, Black Panther, Infinity War. Yes, all these movies have a good guy and a bad guy, but they all have completely different themes and tones. Just look at Guardians of the Galaxy. It's unlike any other Marvel movie. And when you say all the movies can be simplified, so can everything else. This isn't just a thing with superhero movies. You can generalize everything.
All these films can be summarized as superhero has superpowers, supervillain has superpowers, superhero wants peace, supervillain wants destruction. They fight and superhero wins. Hooray! Please direct me to any one of these 30 movies that doesn't follow this format.
Thanos? Did you even watch Infinity War? I don't think the heroes won that one. Black Panther, yes, Killmonger was defeated, but the way he went out was the way he wanted. So in a way, he did win. And there's many other examples of villains winning in smaller ways. Next, he talks about the CGI. And yes, I do agree there's too much of it, but when they're destroying cities, it has to be CGI. And you have to give them credit. In most cases, the CGI looks great, but in Black Panther, it's fucking terrible. And when you say the CGI villains don't matter, you're wrong. Just look at Thanos. You can clearly see the actor's performance shine right through the CGI. And I do agree with you. Just look at The Dark Knight. That movie looks amazing, and there was little to no CGI in that movie. But you just need to understand sometimes CGI is needed in these comic book movies. And no shit, the movies aren't realistic. It's about superheroes. Next, he brings up anime, and there's not much I can say. I'm a normie to anime, to be honest. And originally I was gonna skip this part, but when he says Marvel is only for kids and teenagers, and saying adults can't care about this stuff, which is just insulting to people.
I don't like shonen anime. Shonen anime is what's targeted for teens between 12 and 18. And that's the same thing really with Marvel movies. They're for teenagers. But for some reason, it's still allowed for grown men to enjoy and cry about these films being interesting. It's like watching adults cry about Naruto.
There's people that grew up with these characters, and these characters mean a lot to people, and myself. And yes, these movies are totally just for kids. Have you seen Logan? Deadpool? Any of that ring a bell? And there's a lot to these movies that kids just won't understand. Yes, they will get the premise, but they will have no idea about the smaller details. And overall, this point is just retarded. That's like me saying you can't care about anime because it's for kids. It just doesn't make any sense. People can care about whatever they want. Superheroes in general is for everyone, whether it be Marvel or DC. For example, when I seen The Dark Knight for the first time, I enjoyed it so much as a kid. But now that I'm older, I appreciate the movie even more, and that's why it's still my favorite movie to this day. But your next point about the Marvel cult, as you put it, is crazy, and I do agree. No one should praise a studio and accept anything they put out. That's just stupid to do. But when you make fun of people for cheering for these characters, you're just fucking stupid.
It's freaky. It's weird. It's a guy dressed in a suit. You're screaming at a guy dressed in a suit.
And when you say you don't understand why people are attached because they just grew up with it, so you don't get nostalgia, I find that very hard to believe.
But Felix, it's my childhood. I grew
A lot of people have said this argument to me as well, that they just grew up with comic books and that's why they get so excited about it. But I don't really get that either, to be honest.
What's so hard to understand that people grew up with these characters and will always stick by them? And again, you say you can't idolize these characters because they're not real.
Which is, we need to stop fetishizing the idea of idolizing superheroes. I genuinely think it's damaging. And I said this because they're not real. They have superpowers, right? It's not achievable to have superpowers. You're idolizing something that's impossible. You're idolizing a personal trait that just has been given to them most of the times for free.
And you can't become them? That makes no fucking sense. Why do you think people idolize video game characters? It's just something you're attached to. Who cares if it's not achievable? I idolize Batman, and I don't want to be fucking Batman. This whole point makes zero sense to me. And 70% of this video is just retarded. But the stuff about Black Panther is true, and the money loop is true to an extent, but overall I thought this video was terrible. And I wouldn't really have a problem with this if it was just an opinion piece. But some of the stuff he brings up is just wrong, and at some points he even tells people that they shouldn't care, and it's not his place to be doing that. And with the amount of people he has watching him, he gave a lot of people the wrong vibe about these movies. But I do suggest watching his video. I will link it down below just so you can get his full side of the story, but that'll be it for the video. Tell me if you agree with me, or do you agree with him? Do you think I completely misunderstood his points, or am I right? And again, tell me if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.